Okay, so we're back with part 2, and if you haven't watched part 1, go and watch it. I'll try and put a link in the video. If you click on either one of their faces, hopefully it'll work. I've never done this before. But if you haven't watched it, where I left off was she was talking about female directors, support female directors. I study acting. My other channel, which is my full name, Elizabeth Davidson, is going to be now showcasing my acting abilities in monologues and duologues and self-written stuff, as well as established stuff. But where I study, there are no male lecturers, so I've never been directed by a male. I've only ever been directed by females. And let me tell you something. Women often don't understand female characters. Like, there's a lot of depth to a lot of characters that I've played and things like that, and I've done monologues from, and I've done duologues from, and stuff like that, and a few of my lecturers just haven't got it. They're like, I just don't get it, and I'm like, how can you not get it? She's such a well-rounded character. But the thing is, it's just because they don't understand that character. I don't understand a lot of female characters, because I'm like, why is she like that? Why is she like that? That's not real. It doesn't feel real. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. If you're going to support female directors, then support good ones. Don't support crappy ones who make their own stuff in order to smash the patriarchy. So a bit too, dare I say it, mainstream.
God, he was like, yes, yes, honey. What the fuck?
Wait,
ready?
Wait. Okay.
He looks scared. Witless. He's like, I best not say anything before I get my genitals sliced off with a grater. With a cheese grater.
Yeah, let's do this.
Sounds like pure fear. Wait.
Yeah, I want to see his reaction again, yeah.
Support female directors who bring...
What? Why are you nodding to that, Steve? What is the
point? How about support directors that you like?
It's not good enough that Joss Whedon's a feminist. No. Let's take all of the praise that we gave him, take it away, and let's use it on female directors for no other reason than the fact that they have vaginas.
Like, actually support and...
A vagina. She has a vagina.
Promote. All
Name one female director.
Actually, you know what? I know one female director. I don't.
Well, no, I mean her though. I know female directors.
No, but there's a female director that completely shitted on feminism recently. She says it divides the movie industry. I can probably link the article in the under the thing.
There's no proof that there's less female directors because Hollywood has a hate out for female directors.
No, it's the same thing as every other job. It's whoever makes it to the top, makes it to the top.
Okay, right. I know what you're making is like really good points and stuff like that. But I'm going to skip past it because it's kind of unnecessary. The only thing is I can't remember when you stopped talking about it.
Just a lot of independent films coming out that have females and making these films.
Mm-hmm. So it's not like anything's holding them back. Or
right.
And directing I just couldn't do because the thing, and I'm like, oh, you should do it, and you're already doing it. As I'm saying the words, do things, it's the creepiest thing ever.
Yeah, well, we just have very similar images.
Scarlett Johansson in that movie with her wasn't for me, so a lot of people who go into the industry probably find that out too, and A lot is probably women as well.
Yeah, a lot of people go into the industry find that they're better at some things than others. I mean, my friend is a lot better at writing and directing, and she's female. She's better at writing and directing than she is at some other things. I mean, she wants to be a drama teacher, but that's okay. So that's okay. She doesn't need to get up and act.
So here's the thing, like, what makes a movie a feminist movie? Like Scarlett Johansson in that movie with her uterus problem or whatever.
Right.
You could either think of that as her being weak, or you could think about it as her overcoming something that a lot of women actually deal with, and being overcoming it and still being a hero and whatever.
Well, yeah, she was being a strong, independent woman.
Exactly.
She was at no point in that movie saying, "I can't be a woman because I don't have a uterus." Like, she was still very much kicking ass and taking names in that movie. She is one of the strongest characters in that movie too.
This is an amazing point to make. She never once let it hold her back. In fact, the only point where she actually mentions it is the point where I feel like she needs to talk about it, because it's traumatized her, and she didn't deal with it when it happened. She didn't deal with the trauma when it happened, so it was able to be used against her, and so she needed to get out this trauma. And why the hell not?
Oh, and then this, like, slave thing.
Irrelevant, I'm gonna skip, sorry.
Sex with human women. That makes no sense. He made her wear that outfit because and what the movie is saying.
I know, this is like their biggest mental block with so many people. Oh god, it's.
But we're seeing the same exact issue here with the Scarlett Johansson thing, where they're not separating character motivation and the character's internal struggle with what the movie's message is.
Yeah.
Point skeptic. But I will say this. People very often confuse writer and director. Joss Wheadon, as far as I know, didn't write any of Scarlett Johansson's lines. He directed them, but he didn't write them. So I don't see how he's being blamed for all this.
Alright, let's see Steve Shives nod in agreement and hold his opinion in.
Sexism in Hollywood is rampant, and the only way you're going to fix that is to actually get real, live, women-identified people in the arena. And
Okay,
right now,
so
I'm a woman-identified person. I thought it was okay. Really sorry, Steve Shives' wife, Mrs. Shives. I don't know your name. You never say your name. Mind you, now there's a Skeptic, but we can at least call him Skeptic. We have to call you Mrs. Shives because we don't know your fucking name. Anyway, keep going.
what she's saying here then
Force women to be directors.
So what she's saying here is that let's forget about Joss Wheadon. Let's not have that debate anymore, because we might as well just all determine that he is a sexist now, and let's wash our hands of him and start supporting only women. Well, what happens if all the women that come up as directors in Hollywood are all anti-feminists? Do you think
It's starting to come up with the actresses, because a lot of them are coming out and saying, I'm not a feminist. And there's this whole bunch of backlash, and then they say, I'm sorry, I didn't understand what feminism was like. Which is such an absolute not just a 180, it's a PR thing. They probably still hold views that they're not feminist, but the publicist has said, look, you're going to lose a big, huge percent of your audience, and you're going to lose a big, huge percent of your fans. You need to say, I believe in feminism now. I was wrong about feminism. And they've done that. I mean, feminists in acting can either be the best friends that you've ever had because they don't see you as someone competing for their crown, or they can silence you like nobody else. For example, I know something of both of these people. One of these people, I can share my opinion around her. I can say, look, I don't actually believe in this kind of feminism. I do believe in equality, I just don't believe in this sort of feminism. Another one I'm scared to have an opinion around because she just won't accept anyone else's opinions. Which I'm going to be in deep trouble if she ever finds this, but okay.
Think that these women are going to end up supporting them? No.
Paid millions of dollars on the backs of female stereotypes, and then we call them a feminist. Like, I'm sorry, but
whoa, what?
Wait, what did she say? Hold on.
She said they were supporting a dude who's making millions of dollars using female stereotypes.
What's a female stereotype? I'm seriously asking because I hear that an awful lot. Female stereotype, female stereotype, female stereotype. And almost always it's applied to a different thing. Like in this one it's applied to Black Widow, but I've also heard it being applied to other women who are more submissive and who are less likely to kick your ass. And it bugs me. I'm like, who in the heck? It transcends race and gender. Like, for example, if you were to ask for a female Scottish person, I would have a different opinion based on age, based on location, based on a lot of things, right? For example, like Isa from Still Game is pretty much a stereotypical woman. I'll get a picture up for you. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that's Isa. And she's been described as the nosiest, pork-nosed, and I probably get in trouble from people for swearing, but she's been described as the nosiest, pork-faced, gab-shite in Craiglang. Which basically means she knows everybody's business and she's going to tell people about it. It's rather hysterical. Hysterical when you watch it. There's one scene where Winston's like having. Oh yeah, this is her in real life. Yeah. And she's talking to someone, and then she spots Winston. She's like, "Oh, Winston!" And Winston's like, "Oh," no. And then he's like looking around for somewhere to hide for her, and he's like, "Oh shite, nobody hide." And that's a stereotypical Scottish female. But also you have in the Still Game episode again, where they go to the island for Hogmanay, you have two lasses that have sort of your red hair and and they wear the kilt and they talk like this, and they're your stereotypical Scottish females as well. Like, but then you've got your stereotypical black female. You're very ghetto, very yes, honey. And then you've got your stereotypical white girl with the Starbucks. And a trailer and wearing like really like off the rack clothes. That's really and then you have your stereotypical ratchet girls. Like, I think I've made my point already, but I'm gonna keep going. You got your stereotypical ratchet girls, who are like my hair can't get wet, like that kind of thing. And I've made my point, so I'm gonna stop now. But you can't say what is a stereotypical female and what is not a stereotypical female.
Well, let's forget the fact that he uses like a bajillion male stereotypes in his movies as well. It's a superhero movie. These characters have already been created in the.
Okay, right. I made a different point to Skeptic. I'm going to skip his point, even though it's really good. Like, because Joss Wheadon does use stereotypical male roles in his movies. Especially Age of Ultron.
No, and plus, she's not even the best looking person in the movie. Have you not seen fucking Thor's abs? That guy is jacked.
Yes, Hunty. Praise!
I prefer Angel to Buffy. Do you think that's because I'm a sexist?
I'm going to skip past this whole BS because it has absolutely nothing to do with the topic, which wasn't a Steve Shives gay. He might be gay. I don't know. He might be bisexual. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, it wasn't a Steve Shives sexist. It was a Joss Wheadon sexist. And I'm going to skip past this whole Buffy thing.
And she's hot. I mean, she's really attractive. I mean, who doesn't like to look at Cordelia? And her.
That's kind of sexist. Because I'm pretty sure Cordelia, I have no idea whether or not she's watching, whether or not she's talking about Angel or Buffy, because I've skipped it. But reducing a woman down to her sex appeal is in and of itself sexist, regardless of how it's written. So well done, Steve Shives' wife. You just made a sexist comment.
Sexy in low cut shirts. She was like glaring at Steve. Steve didn't know if he should agree or not.
I think you are secretly sexist, and you probably won't.
That is the face of a man who is just told that he's secretly a sexist because he likes something even though he doesn't mean to. I'm sorry, Stephen. You're sexist even though you don't mean to be. This is your reality, Steve.
Well, no, I mean,
Steve has accepted what some people would term cuck. He's a cuck because he is allowing his wife to make up his opinions for him. I mean, like, she's just said, yeah, you are a sexist on the down low because you like Angel over Buffy. Really, bitch. And now he's probably rethinking his entire life.
Take a look at your bookshelf. Take a look at your music collection.
music collection.
I always give you crap about that because it's true.
Owning more books and music made by men. That's sexism now?
Oh, so that.
I'm gonna shit myself in the face if I hear one more feckin' word out of that woman's lips.
means we should all of our music collections should be half women. All of our book collections should be half women, even if they're writers that we hate, just so that we're not sexist.
Well, since I admitted it's okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was.
Steve, you are under the thumb. You are a cock. Your wife makes your decisions for you. You can't even decide whether or not you having more men authors and more men singers than female. And here's a lowdown for Steve Shives' wife. I'm a woman. My favourite singers happen to be Elvis and the Beatles. And also Cilla Black. My favourite bands happen to be the Beatles. Again. Oasis. Pardon me. And Scooter. Starting to notice a pattern. I like more male singers than female singers. It's nothing to do with the other female singers. I like them quite a bit. Okay, I like their music. I just don't like it as much as I like the Beatles, Elvis, Evanescence, Scooter. I just don't happen to like them as much as I like them. Okay, Oasis. Hallelujah. I love Oasis. I would probably climb Noel Gallagher like a tree, like right now. Like at this age that he is at, he is still a sexy beast. I would still climb him like a tree.
Say in the hip hop world and the rap world, where the women have proved to us that they can hang with the guys. You know, that they are aggressive and they're very openly sexual.
Well, isn't that like hip hop artists in general, like the men too?
I don't understand what
That's just the
she's
hip hop.
getting at.
I don't get what she's getting at either, Skeptic, because if you look at the rap world, you've got the men fighting with the men, but also when the women come into this sphere, they don't automatically help each other. It's all you, who are you, this, you, that, you, everything, this and that, and the next thing, and this and that, and the next thing. And I'm sick of it. Sick of it. I mean, it's getting to the point where hip hop artists who've gone mainstream is trying to bring it into pop world, and she's trying to have a go at Miley Cyrus, who's half her age, by the way, who's like 10 years younger than her. She's trying to have a go at Miley Cyrus. Miley's not having any of it, because in pop, women tend to... I mean, in indie, you can barely be in the same band. You have to... There's always something going on, even within the band. Even within the family. Really weird. But yeah, irrelevant. Let's go.
Fucking, that's just the attitude of people in the hip hop world.
I don't understand what she's getting at here. Like,
And
women cannot act like they're in charge. That's it.
I think that aggression is inherently a man trait.
Smith or like PJ Harvey or.
Who was thinking this? She's interpreting the directors. Directors are literally in charge.
In the superhero movies, I feel as if that is a common thing. It's as if the girls have to prove to the audience that they can just do it, just like the boys. And
who was thinking this? She's interpreting this herself, though.
Yeah, she's.
I've watched movies of superheroes and stuff. I never thought this of the women, that they have to keep up. I always thought they're just their own characters that are doing just as much as everybody else.
She even has like lines where she like proves that she's tougher than them because she's better than them. There's one point where she's like chasing Captain America down the road and his shield is on the ground and she's like, "I'm always cleaning up after you boys." Like that's a slight against the men. That's the part where you're like, "Oh yeah, Scarlett Johansson, you're totally the tough one of the group."
Yeah.
And she really is. She's the only one that literally has no superpowers and no specific skills. She is a normal human being that keeps up with the rest of them.
Yeah, and they all have superpowers and shit.
I don't know, and I feel like that's all I see whenever I go to a superhero movie and I see a woman jumping around in latex or spandex and killing some people. And
what Scarlett Johansson should have done then is shown up to the fight wearing a hoodie and said, "Why should I fucking do any work? You men should be doing all of this." This is Avengers as directed by Steve Shives' wife, and this is why I call social justice warrior projection warriors. They're projection warrioring all over the place here. She is telling us that movies should be done a certain way because they conflict with her own personal internal struggle. Black Widow, a woman with no superpowers, just happens to be able to keep up with these men. She is not trying to prove anything, and at no point in this movie are we ever given the idea that she has to try to prove anything.
Can I just add to this? In the movie, Black Widow gets captured. Captain America's first thought is, get the package to Stark. Hawkeye, who's been with Nat, and who I'm convinced this was in love with her, but she refused to let him be in love with her. But yet, regardless of that, they're best friends. His first thought is, do you have eyes on Nat? Because I'm not leaving until you confirm to me that she's safe. You confirm to me that she's safe. And Captain America's orders are, get the package to Stark. We'll get her when we get her. So Captain America's first thought is to complete the mission and then go back for a rescue. Clint's first thought is to find his friend and make sure she's okay before leaving. And that's two completely conflicting reactions to the same thing. And it shows each man's personality as well, but it also shows how close each man is to Black Widow. But carry on.
Because you know why?
Do you know why? He's struggling to think of something to say though, because there's no logical response to that other than everything you just fucking said is categorically nonsense.
But what if you look at it as sort of blurring the line between the gender roles? What if instead of saying, oh look, a woman has to act like a man in order to be considered tough or be considered cool, what if instead you show women exhibiting these what would be typically male behaviors or masculine behaviors, and that breaks down that gender role?
No way. Steven just said something totally logical and reasonable.
I agree. It's like when you like cartoon characters. When you have SpongeBob and Patrick together, SpongeBob looks smart.
Oh yeah.
But when you have Squidward and SpongeBob together, SpongeBob looks stupid.
Yeah,
Basically, these two are SpongeBob and Patrick, because right now Steve looks really smart.
Yeah, Steve looks like the smart one. Steve, that's a really good analogy, June. Good for you. You deserve a cookie for that.
I don't understand.
No, you don't.
And maybe we'll get to a place where it'll feel that way. But as it is now, it will always feel to me watching that, well, we have to raise her up.
And there we go. That's the whole thing we were talking about for like 10 minutes straight. It will always feel to me. To you.
Yeah. Queen was one of the most empowering female characters.
This is when I wrote a whole load of crap before I'm going to skip to the end. Right. Steve just made an absolutely excellent point about how we don't have to say women are acting like men in order to get approval. Why can't they just behave like themselves and that's it? I mean, like, my auntie is what's known as a tomboy. She's not behaving like a man in order to get approval of men. She doesn't care. Okay, right? She's being herself. And if that means exhibiting some form of masculine traits, that's fine. In fact, I see her as the ultimate mother. So, you know. So the question is, does she, and she goes, I don't understand. Of course you don't, because you don't see them as real women. You don't want real women. You want men with boobs. You don't want vulnerable women who go through a lot of crap in their life. You want a woman who has absolutely no problems and who keeps going. Observation. You want a man with boobs. Female characters don't need to relate to you for them to be real female characters. Females don't need to cater for you because if they do that, you will be the only person in that audience. Females are their own people and they don't need your approval and they don't seek it either. Female characters are written to be their own person. They don't give a damn about what you think. Okay? Okay, right, here we go. Skipping to the end. Or almost to the end.
Character who's
not ugly.
Who doesn't make me feel insecure about my own body, my own image, my own life choices, my own abilities, my own...
Her? So should every fucking... Oh my god, should every female superhero just be this naggy woman who wrote every character of the Avengers?
Relatable. He is a billionaire playboy philanthropist.
Relatable. She's real and...
She's the only one that... For her arc is coming to realize certain things about women or coming...
What acting experience does she have? What directing experience does she have that she can hear someone talk about a character arc and freaking roll her eyes? Like, here we go. Watch this.
This character is the most relatable. She's real and...
She's the only woman. You have to start at the beginning. You can't start at the end. And sometimes if you have a character going through an arc where part of his or her arc is coming to realize certain things about women or coming to realize certain things about their attitudes or their perspectives, you know.
Is Steve talking about himself?
She's looking at him so condescending, like, you don't understand anything, honey. No, she doesn't understand anything, you podcast cow! And there's my anger issues coming out. Sorry you had to hear that.
Yes. That I like something. We're gonna get to a point where movies...
Right. I'm going to try and skip it to a part where I think she's talking about something, but she doesn't have the right end of the stick. I would love to know where she studied acting, if she even ever did. because she talks about it with such authority that she. I would love to know where she took a screenwriting class. I would love to know where she took a directing class. I would love to know where she studied for her degree in drama.
Black guy teaches the white guy how to be not racist, and the white guy he's not racist anymore because he got to know this black guy.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah,
Guys,
It's a horrible movie. It's a horrible movie. How dare he have a character arc? How dare he have a character development? How dare he?
Sounds like that character developed.
like the same white guy's story. Why?
I agree.
It's still a white guy's story. Even if all the emphasis is on the black guy. What the hell? It was written with a specific era in mind. And a specific place as well. Mississippi was not the best place in the 1960s for civil rights. Ow! Just whipped myself with a ball stick. No. A horrible ball stick. I went, ah! Where was I going with this? It'll come back to me. Let's just play this and see where I was going with this.
The point of the movie is that white people should not be racist.
Oh yeah, The Help. Joke memory. The Help. Laugh. I nearly went to Africa. On the power of laughs alone. Even though The Help was about a white woman who writes a book and ends up with a lot of trouble, a lot of the focus was still on was on the black maid. We see them at home. We see them in the white women's houses. We see them interacting with the white character. But it's not a white character story. If it's focused on the black character, it's not about the white character.
It's towards black people, but that's not good enough because the fucking movie's about white people. Jesus Christ! There's no winning with this woman. This is just Kobayashi Maru, the woman.
I'm saying get your ass out to the edge of that diving board.
Yeah, all you directors out there, go do that.
Get your ass out to the edge of the diving board. You ladies! Look at the horse bouncing up and down. I kill myself. Google Iron Brew. Google Diet Iron Brew. Raoul ad is so funny. Watch them all. It's hysterical.
I'm not gonna do it though. Hey,
Yeah.
why aren't there any women directors?
Just now or never. And you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. And you're going to stand back here and mealy mouth around about, oh, we're trying real hard to get to that point. Just fucking get there. Just get there. Nothing is stopping you.
We're trying really hard to get to that point. Just get there. Yeah, I don't understand how journeys work. Just get there. Just get there. Before I get you there. I kill myself, really, honestly.
You? I have no interest.
Yeah, nothing's stopping you women from making movies except the patriarchy, right?
You. I mean, just fuck.
Go, June. Go, June. Go, June. You can't see it, but I'm doing the Cabbage Patch. Oh, I was slaying myself here. Right, never mind.
You can show them what to do, Steve. What is wrong with that? Show them the right way.
Show them what to do, Steve. Yeah, I'm Steve. I'm sorry, all I can think about is Winston and Stargame going up to Frankie, who turns out to be Stevie in disguise. He's like, Stevie, Stevie, Stevie. Stevie's right there. My name's Frankie. And he's like, Frankie, is it Frankie? Okay.
Yes, Steve. Just do it, Steve.
Yes, Steve. Come on, you should be a director, Steve.
Come on, Steve.
We should make a movie where nothing ever goes wrong and everybody's always happy.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. It'll make $1 bajillion and Disney will buy it from us.
Yes.
Do you think that's going to be the end goal? Like, it would make $0.
It would be boring.
It'd be like fucking Teletubbies, but like feature length.
I think Teletubbies even has some conflict.
Oh, that's true. I remember an episode where the vacuum got stuck.
Oh my god, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, that was a bad episode. That was conflict.
That's weird. How do you know that?
My sister.
Oh.
The same age as you.
Oh yeah.
Start at the end of that movie, where the black guy teaches the white guy that racism is bad. Start at the
Just
end of that movie.
that has already happened.
Yeah, where the woman teaches the man that she can do it herself. Start there.
Wait, okay. So the movie should start. So the movie should.
That's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to hear the whole logic. And then put down that magnifying glass, okay? Because you won't find it. Did you hear that? I actually have a little tiny thing. Like, I'm going to make Shakespeare references now. Othello might have been get better if he'd started at the end. Hamlet as well. It might have been better if he'd started with everyone dead in Denmark rather than just the dead. No conflict. Just everyone by Horatio dead. No. It's not gonna happen. I'll let June and Skeptic have the last word though.
Start after the character development, and then it should just show the black man and the white man holding hands and walking down the street together for an hour and a half.
What is this? What
is two best friends? They're hanging out all the time. Nothing ever goes wrong. Hey, I'm coming over for lunch. Let's talk about our day.
Hey.
End of movie.
Make that your beginning. It's gonna happen.
Steve is just like, why did I marry this? This actually reminds me of Rick and Morty. Like, you know the commercials that they flip through?
Yes.
That one commercial that keeps going even after the commercial's done and you see the guy drive home?
Yes.
And like eat dinner with his wife?
Yeah. And you're like, is this over? Is this part of the commercial?
That's her movie.
That's her movie.
When the movie is done, that is what she wants to say.
Steve, you are a writer. I know you're a writer. I know that you know that what she said is completely impossible and unsustainable.
He knows it too. Look at his face.
Because otherwise you're just reminding people.
What?
What?
These things exist.
That is the point. That is the point, you fucking idiot. That is exactly the exact point. You fuck.
I know I said I was going to let them two have the last word, but I have to have this last word before I turn it off. Good media is supposed to say something timeless and universal about the nature of the human condition. Starting after the time of the nature of the human condition shows that nobody needs to change. Everybody's fine the way they are. Anyway, this is almost 45 minutes long. I'm going to hit you guys. I really want to make a video with June and Skeptic now. I don't know what it is. I just really want to make a video with June and Skeptic now where we talk about these things, because I feel like we would agree with certain things, but I would also like challenge them on certain things, and they would challenge me. Just think it'd be awesome. Right, so bye.